welcome back to some more speedrun attempts by Mudstomp. We're currently joining me in my 5th attempt at a speedrun here. I've collected most of my gear. I started off in one desert and I've ended up in a second desert, and I'm pretty excited because I haven't had too many runs start with deserts. I've just found this ravine and thought this is great, I'm going to get going and get some iron. So unfortunately I'm not the greatest jumper so far for going downwards. That's probably the first attempt I've had at block catching on the side of a wall, so clearly, you know, not the best situation at this point, but it did have me excited for all the iron and so forth and potential to find a lava source down the bottom here. So I was on my way, or was I? Not so much. So that was attempt number 5. So attempt number 5, not the best so far, unfortunately. So following this shortly, I get into attempt number 6. So let's have a check out of where we went with attempt number 6. So getting into attempt number 6, I've already found a ravine very early on in the run here. So I've jumped in a bit where we have a few resources happening already. Seeing this water over here, I've decided I want to grab a water bucket as soon as possible, so I've got that ready to go, and I'm cooking the iron as we speak, and that's going to basically set me up ready to go, except for food and obviously gold at some point, but we are aiming for finding gold more so in the nether. I am grabbing more coal here because basically, depending on how long the run takes, I might need to cook some, as I said, food in the nether or something, and I want to be fully ready for that. So yeah, I'm still sort of, I don't know, up and down about how much of which resource to do, so you know, it's a lot of here and there in that sense. Seeing the creeper, I decided to block myself in, so to speak, or him in straight away to make sure I was going to survive that. And again, because it's basically just food missing at this point, my aim is to get out of here as quickly as possible and hope for a decent find shortly along the way. As you can see, I'm still having trouble with jumping long distances down. I'm had a lot of lag during this recording session, and I think it's possibly because my hard drive was maxing out a bit, but anyway, we'll get that sorted. And of course the obligatory piece of flint so I can light a portal when I get to it. With the bucket method here, I've been practicing this a bit lately. I haven't used it before I've sort of done these speedruns, so it's been a new thing to get used to. I think I'm getting there gradually, although you can see at this attempt it's very hard to get up over a ledge with it, but I'm working on it, so you know, we'll get there. Again, the lag I think was a major issue with all of this, unfortunately, but yeah, again, it should sort itself out not too long a time is the hope. Yeah, big mistake I've got going on here is the fact I don't have food, unfortunately. The drops down into the ravines without the food are just a big problem. So yeah, and of course naturally I'm still learning a lot about what I'm doing here. It's kind of funny having played Minecraft for so long and yet I'm still sort of feeling like such a beginner when it comes to speedrunning, but anyway, so I aim to bridge across here. Unfortunately I'm still learning to bridge better. I do alright, but speed is not exactly the thing, and that happens. So yeah, I was tempted to give up, but because this was so close to the start area, I thought, no, I won't give up. I'm just going to keep going and try and get this run done because it is a decent starting point. And yeah, I don't get too many of those, to be honest. A lot of the resets and that sort of just send me in random spots, and with the sort of forest beginnings and whatnot, this is kind of one of the first ones that was sort of semi-nice in that regard. So yeah. I nearly thought I was going to miss the water here too. That would have been even worse, unfortunately. But anyway, so yeah, let me jump forward a bit because this is basically just me then going on the search for different things and stuff. And we'll jump forward a bit in this attempt and see where I end up and learn, or see what other lessons there were to be learnt. So yeah, give me a few moments. Alright, welcome back everyone. Basically I spent a lot of time on a boat. I got out of the ravine, found some food, and spent about 10 minutes around on a boat looking for somewhere to go. I've gotten to this coastline and decided that I'm just going to head inland and see what I find. Seeing fire up ahead, I decided that that was most likely lava and headed in that direction, and fortunately it was. So this is about my, I don't know, 4th, 5th attempt at making a nether portal out of a lava section like this. I'm feeling like I might have a chance at it this time, that I've learnt a few lessons, but as we'll see, I come near to failure again. So what I've learnt so far, just to sum it up in case you've not done this yourself and just to give you an idea of what you're doing, you place a block in and then place water against the block, then take the block out. That gets you your 2 start points left and right there. You're then building this structure behind here. Now, if I remember correctly, it's something like 3 blocks up and 1 block over or something. And what I keep failing, I put a hole behind here so that the water would drop off at the back, because I've had it that the water, not having the hole there before, meant the water spilled out and sealed all the lava over. And then the idea being that you would have these 3 blocks here to put the water against. Now the problem that I run into this time, which it's not until part way through that I realise, is that I put the water in the wrong spot in the second spot. So as you can see, putting in, there's my 3 high. I've got to do the top now. Okay, so I put the block there and then I put the obsidian over. That's all fine and well. The block over is the one I missed earlier when I was constructing this, so that's something I've got to work on. Now, this is where I go wrong. I put the water inside the portal so it spills out into the lava lake. And again, luckily I'm fortunate that I don't see it seal the whole lake over. It is getting dark, so I'm also starting to rush at this point. So this is like, yeah, me being very panicked. So what I should have done was put the water up. I think the idea is where I put the dirt behind there, you need to put it 1 higher and then you switch the water over onto that or something. I don't know. I've got to look at it again and try and figure it out. Because this is that one there is the problem. So yeah, putting the water up like that gets you that second one, I think. And that's the thing, I think I shift it down before I should, whereas I should be shifting it down to there and then doing the bottom 2. So yeah, lesson learned. So anyway, I made it to the nether finally. This is like the 3rd time in a proper speedrun I've made it into the nether. So I'm pretty amped at this point. I'm about 15 to 20 minutes into the run, which is not the best times, but it's probably one of my fastest times so far. Maybe even a bit longer. Yeah, maybe even closer to 30 minutes. Anyway, I'm really excited until I get out, and then I realize that I'm in the lava lake. And this is where I get really annoyed, because it's sort of like, this keeps happening. I keep getting lava lakes when I spawn out in the nether. I'm just changing my video settings once again, because I've been working on, 20 chunks, and I just need to get down to 10. It means I can't see as much, unfortunately, in the nether, but while it's first loading, it's just quicker for me to do it this way and start to figure out what I'm doing. So, all in all, I decide that I'm going to head off in a direction soon enough and just try and make it. This is the point where I've basically decided from now on, as long as I get into the nether, I'm going to attempt to finish the run, just to try and get a PB, a complete PB happening, put it that way, because basically up until this point my PB is I hit the nether within 40 minutes. You'll see I've got my 7th run next, and unfortunately I didn't film that one. I don't know why, the filming went wrong, but during my 7th run I actually managed to hit the nether in 17 minutes, I think it was, or something like that. So I was really amped with that one. The problem with that one was that again I ended up in a lava lake, and I think, I'm trying to remember, I think I went to boat. I didn't have many blocks on me, and I gathered I managed to stretch out over the lava lake a bit and get to land, and then I got in a boat to jump off, but for some reason muffed the boat launch up. I can't even remember. I think I tried to get in and out through the slow fall boat or something and died on impact, and that was when I just went, well, I'm not coming back here to collect all this stuff. So yeah, that killed that run in sort of 20 minutes, but I was really amped to get in the nether so much quicker that time, so that was really nice. So anyway, with this one again, I've got my blocks and I'm like, alright, I'm going to bridge out in a particular direction. It's sort of, yeah, again, it's quite frustrating at this point. I don't know whether to think like you should collect more blocks to bring in. Maybe as a beginner runner I should, you know, try and have sort of half a stack of wood or something that I can use for things. I think that there's probably, you know, there's probably a lot of runners that would just kill the run here, I'm guessing, because basically if you're having to bridge out to get away from the portal, you're already killing your chances of survival or getting a good run, I guess, would be the main thing. So yeah, anyway, it is interesting though, because as mentioned before, I'm not very fast with bridging, and one thing I did find out with this was that if you bridge standing side on, you bridge quicker than if you're facing backwards. I'm guessing because you get full movement speed facing sideways, whereas when you bridge facing backwards, you're moving slower because you're moving backwards. So that was one thing I learnt about this. So it seems that if you're going to bridge, you want to be standing side on to your bridge so that you move a bit quicker that way. So just be aware of that for your own reference later on. So anyway, this is where I'm like, okay, I'm going to head over to there and keep bridging. So we keep going. And I will say too, I was scared to heck at this point because of potential for ghasts. I have no idea how I didn't get a ghast shoot me while I was doing this. And again, that would be another reason why people would probably kill a run with this scenario, because the risk of ghast would just be too much, I suppose. But anyway, so I made it this far, and I'm like, this is where, again, I'm like, I'm really happy because I'm thinking that I'm definitely getting somewhere now. So yeah, and there's a ghast there, so I think that was it. Yeah, and I just decided to run. I just like, no, gotta hide. So yeah, you can see he's already started shooting at me. So I got very lucky that didn't happen like 10 seconds before, I think. So yeah, anyway, I'm in here and I'm like, okay, keep looking around, keep moving, all the rest of it. I was glad to have a few pieces of sand because I thought I'll use that for just some, what do you call it? I can't think of the word, you know, just so I know where to go back to get back to my portal. I'm also working on jumping and placing blocks underneath me to keep my speed moving, particularly in those scenarios. So that's another little skill that I've noticed a lot of speedrunners have and I'm still failing miserably with, but anyway. So yeah, I'm looking for a fortress at this point, or a bastion if I can find one. I'm really honestly not holding a lot of hope at this point, because it's just sort of, yeah, I just feel like every time I get in the nether I just run out of luck, essentially. But that's okay, we'll get there eventually, I think. So yeah, I see this gold up here. I know that, like, again, like, you should be finding bastions and all that, but I don't have any gold on me, so the big thing I'm concerned about is getting jumped by a hoglin at some point. So this is why I went and grabbed this, because I thought I'll make a pair of boots and then I'm at least semi-safe for a little bit longer in that. Again, this is where I'm sort of looking more at longevity as opposed to speed, just trying to get a completed PB at this point. So anyway, I got that. And again, I'm looking around. I've seen nothing so far that indicates anything to me, which is really disappointing. And then I see the skeleton and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't make a shield, because that's the other thing. I haven't been doing much in these speedruns, but I'm going to start doing more. So my quick bet is to think that if I dig into this gold, I can drop down a level and he won't be able to hit me, at least for a moment or two. And then I'm thinking that I can work my way from there. Now, when he dropped in, I thought, this is it, I'm dead. There's no way I'm going to survive this. Fortunately, I did, so that was the fantastic part. Unfortunately, as you'll see in a moment, the run ends in a moment because I was just about ready to get out of the hole and a piglin jumps in and I accidentally hit it. So that's run 6 over, and we're going to move on to the next run after this. So I'll just let you watch this out. Alright everyone, so this is actually run 10 now. So as I said in run 6, that was 7 I didn't record. 8 and 9, 8 I spawned in a spruce forest and after 5 minutes of running around gave up. And 9 I spawned in a dark oak forest and next to an ocean bit, and basically within a minute or two I just decided that that wasn't going to be the run for me. I know it seems a bit stupid to end a run without trying much, considering that I haven't even got a PB yet. But to be honest, because I know that it's possible to get much better starts, I just haven't been committed to doing that, essentially spending hours looking for things. And particularly as I'm doing more and more attempts, I'm just like, no, I want to get into them quickly and get moving. So if I can't get a nether sort of, if I can't get all my resources in sort of 5 minutes, then I'm kind of giving up. If I can't get my nether within sort of 15 to 20 minutes, I'm giving up, that kind of idea. I just figure it's just too long a period to just be bothered with it, and I'd rather just keep trying to find a better spawn for it. So anyway, in this one, I did spawn in a spruce forest again, but within a couple of minutes I'd gotten most sort of materials that I wanted to get, you know, flint, food, that sort of thing, and I'm continuing to find some food and whatnot. My big main problem here right now has been, 1, I can't find any iron, and 2, I'm not finding anything towards a nether portal type idea. So I am, at this point in the run, I was actually pretty close to maybe giving up on it. I was just wanting to sort of go a little bit longer and see if I could find something. It's been going for about 7 minutes at this point, and it's only because it's basically iron or portal that I'm missing that I decided to keep going. That being said, getting to this point was and because again, I'm very early in runs, but the thing is, because ocean monuments have become a big thing with the gold, I decided I wanted to really try and do that if I was going to do it in this run. So I think this cave bit in here is my last little check before I discover the ocean monument. And to be honest, I'm really quite shocked that I haven't found any iron whatsoever at this point. It's just blowing my mind that there's just no iron anywhere. And I don't know if this is because it just doesn't spawn in mountains anymore, or if I've just been really, really unlucky. But yeah, as you could see there, just in the background there was the ocean monument, which I'm about to notice myself. So yeah, I'm like, okay, I've never done this before. I've never seen an ocean monument myself in a speedrun, so I want to try it. And so basically at this point I decide that this is it. I'm going to commit to finding iron no matter what it takes, and once I get iron I'm going to have a go at this ocean monument. So long story short, I run around on this hill a whole heap more looking for iron, and I end up getting one piece out of the hillside under the water out near the ocean, and then there's a ravine down there in the water, and so I make some doors and dive down to the ravine to get a couple of pieces of iron, and it's all basically just so I can get an iron pickaxe to mine that gold. So yeah, that's sort of the big game. So I'm going to skip forward to once I've completed that, because it takes me about 10 or 15 minutes to get all that done, and then we're going to have a look at how we go from there. So let me just jump forward a bit. Okay, so as I said, jump forward to this, and I've just got some food cooking here and just making sure my inventory is ready to go and getting the last little bits of iron done up here. I think I even actually make a bucket in a second as well, you know, while I finally found the iron. But anyway, I've only got a couple minutes left on this clip, so I want to talk this through before it sort of comes in, because I basically end the clip very quickly after I died. And cat out of the bag, which was really frustrating and annoying. And just to explain quickly, the reason why I quit straight away was because I was so far from spawn, and it spawned me all the way back at spawn, that I was just like, I'm not going through this again to try and find more iron. I've already spent, I don't know, 25-30 minutes trying to get into this ocean monument, let alone anything else. So yeah, I was really frustrated at that point, to be honest. It was really disheartening. But the key thing here is that essentially what I'm doing is I'm obviously getting set up to go to the nether still and all of that. My aim is I get this gold, and then I'm going to just boat it and look for a portal or lava or whatever and get in the nether, because the gold's going to set me up for it basically. No matter how long it takes, I'll have enough gold to get my ender pearls, and then I'm pretty confident that I can go from there. And that's the big thing. If I can get a spawn where I can get a decent spawn into the nether, I'm pretty confident I can finish the game alright. But yeah, I can't prove it yet because I haven't gotten a spawn that's been good enough, unfortunately. But anyway, so I've got all my stuff together here, and the idea is, what I'm going for is, having watched a few videos about it, I'm going for a couple of ideas. Number one is that I'm going to fly in there as quick as I can, and I'm going to change my render distance to 2 chunks, because I'm going to try and avoid the spawning of the what are they called? The Elder Guardians, because I'm not going to be close enough to them. That's the hope anyway. Secondly, if you can see it when I get in there, there's a set number of archers that you're supposed to mine. If you don't know what this strategy is, basically there's 4 spots where the 8 gold blocks can spawn, and the archers at the backside, whatever it is, of the monument tell you where that is. And if you dig these 4 holes, you can find it very easily and quickly. And you have doors, because you put a door down, gives you an air pocket to work in, and so on and so forth. The problem I ran into here was 2 things. Number one, I took too long to get in there because I changed the vision distance, which I shouldn't have. I should have just not bothered with. I've got cows just over here. I could have gotten milk and come back and tried again if I needed to. The render distance meant that it found it really hard for me to find the monument. I should have gotten a lot closer before I did it, because this is the other problem. Then I'm there for so long while it's happening, trying to figure out where I'm going, that stacks of guardians have spawned in that time frame. So in that time I'm getting targeted, and I'm swimming down and around trying to find these holes, and I can't find the hole, the right hole, and then I die. Now, watching the clip back, what I actually realized was, although I did get damage from the guardians, my biggest problem was I ran out of air right at that point, and then I quickly got some suffocation damage and died because I actually drowned, not because of the the Guardian damage. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave this for you to watch. 30 seconds or so to go. Hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching, and all. Subscribe, like, comment and whatnot as you will, and otherwise I'll catch you the next time when I show you some more attempts at speedrunning Minecraft. Thanks for watching.